everyone. Thanks very much for joining in with us again. This is our second podcast, and today I am joined by the lovely Sandra. Sandra and me didn't actually sort of connect in the same way as a lot of the crafters where I've met them at craft fairs. Sandra actually just walked into our store on a night that we were sort of having a bit of an open night, and basically the rest is history. Now the problem with Sandra is that Sandra did come in just right before COVID. So we are still getting to know each other very, very much so. And I would just like to say thanks very much for coming along, Sandra. How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you. Yes, nice to be invited. And hi to everybody listening.
Well, just let's get the ball rolling. How did you get started? What was your journey on into the crafting scene?
Okay, well, my focus is really art. So I've always loved art. So as a child, I was always drawing and painting and sketching things, just anything about me, patterns on the curtain, patterns of duvets, animals, whatever. And when I was probably about 10 or 11, I started painting little landscapes and giving them to my family for Christmas presents and things. And from then on, I went on to do art. It was O level at that time, and then art A level, and I did art at uni as well, and I trained then to be a teacher. So between teaching, it was primary school teaching, so I was very busy, and then I was bringing up my family as well. And then just recently, a few years back there, I took a career break. So that's when my little journey to doing things with my art and my little dream became a bit of a reality. So I popped in to see Sinead one day, and we decided to work together, and she wanted to sell some of my art. So that's where my journey with her really started. But I'm loving doing my art. So I do originals, and Sinead sells some of the prints and some of the originals as well. And I'm just really enjoying doing my little dream that I've always wanted to do. So it's great to get time to do it.
Now, the one thing I absolutely love about your stock is that there's a lot of people doing animals. So if anybody doesn't know Sandra's work, Sandra very much specializes in animals, and she does it absolutely brilliantly. I love the wee caricature that she actually creates. You nearly can tell that the character of the person or of the animal. So was there a fascination with animals, or was it just something that you like to doodle, and then that's where this line of work came into play?
Yeah, well, I think probably lately when I married a farmer, so I guess my love of the countryside kind of started mostly then. And so in the morning, I do the milking with my husband. So I'm not doing art all the time, and would have done little sketches and paintings of cows, dairy cows and things like that, and animals around the countryside. We have quite a lot of foxes here, so I'm quite addicted to drawing and painting foxes. I love them. But I mean, animals, yeah, just in general, I am an animal lover. We've at the farm, we've got the dairy cattle, we've got calves, we have beef cattle, we've got hens, chickens. My son breeds little chicks. So, all of those are great things to paint and do. With dogs, with cats, we've actually 2 litters of kittens at the minute. So you can kind of see where my love of animals and the countryside comes from. So I love painting plants, drawing plants as well. So I'm lucky I've got great inspiration here at the farm.
Yeah, as a country girl, I sort of get that. Because like I do doodles, but they're nothing like your doodles. They literally are circular doodles that I got told off as a teacher. You probably have taught people like me where the sides and the pages are filled more with scribbles than with what you were supposed to do that day. But like where did it all start? So I sort of know the pieces that you've been bringing into me, but who was it that gave you the confidence to just go, yeah, this is what I'm going to take this year break? Because that's a big move to do. Just going, I want a year break and I'm going to go into the art scene.
Yeah, no, it was a bit of a big decision, but I had been teaching for 28 years, and I think in myself, I kind of wanted to change for a while anyway. So, I mean, I love teaching art as well because that would have been my favourite subject to teach at primary school. I couldn't wait to, get the maths and English over and let's get the paints out. But yeah, no, it wasn't too hard a decision because I knew I could help my husband on the farm as well. So that, there was more to do as well as my art. So yeah, I just went for it. It was quite a big decision, but I have definitely not regretted it. The pieces that I kind of started with, which are Sinead sells online and in her shop there. I started with, can I show you a wee bit here?
Yeah, work away.
So this is one of my pieces. So I like the idea of painting onto print. So I had seen that before, but not maybe with animals and things. So the background is all prints here about the puffins, and then I paint onto the print. So I felt that was quite, maybe it's just the educator in me, but I just like that sort of a background to work on. So, I mean, there's one with puffins, love otters as well. Absolutely adore otters because I just love the way the parents look after the little baby otters. And at night they put the baby otters on their tummy and protect them. I just find it amazing how animals look after each other as well. Of course, hares are super popular. So
Yeah,
this is
the
one
hers.
the hair guy. And of course, my love of foxes had
Fox.
to do with fox. So those are a few wee samples of my earlier work, and these are the prints that
Yeah,
I've done.
so
Yeah.
just to describe to people that are not that aren't watching our YouTube channel. So basically, Sandra has these frames, and inside them, and I actually I've seen people doing them on book pages and stuff, but what I think is so different for Sandra is that, and it definitely is the educator in her, is that she paints the animals, and I love them. Like, she does squirrel families and she has all of these different things, but the wording behind it is about the subject. So you're actually getting a wee bit of information regarding the animal or the landscape. And I think that's what makes it really, really, really stunning. Because I know, like, the dark hedges would tend to be a very popular one in our store that we've sold, which I find hilarious since we're in Armagh and we are literally miles away from the dark hedges. But yet the dark hedges sells in Lurgan. So if anybody wants to check them out, you will see them on our page, and we will send you a wee link on further down. But was there anybody who inspired you, or is there any artists that you absolutely love following that sort of gives you that wee bit of a kick whenever you sort of get a bit of a mental block? Or I suppose, is it just the nature around you that keeps you going?
Well, I think inspiration-wise, my parents weren't into art at all, so it was a bit of a total shock to them. But I really liked it, and my dad he still says to me, he never passed an art exam in his life. But I don't know where it came from originally. I also love the idea of these people that think they can't do art. I love to teach it, so I have been doing classes in different places as well. I love the idea of people realizing that they can do it, that maybe at school they didn't get a chance to sit down in a quiet place and really try, because at school art classes are just mad and everybody's playing with paints and it's all a bit chaotic. Some people don't really get a chance to delve into it properly. And I just love putting the quiet music on, and having a little class, and them all trying out different ideas, and it's amazing what you can achieve. So those people out there that don't think they can do it, definitely, you definitely can with a wee bit of guidance. But no, my parents weren't into art. None of my family in particular. I'm not really quite sure where it came from, but I did have a fantastic art teacher who would have just sat alongside me and not necessarily talk about art, but just talk about stuff and how are you? And she was just lovely. And I think that probably encouraged me. I was very lucky to go to a small school. So at A level, there was only 3 in our class. So I got special attention. So I think that was probably, a good thing as well. So I suppose those are my inspirations. I mean, I love Instagram. You couldn't not be inspired if you key in artists of Northern Ireland or artists of different countries. There's so much
Yeah.
out there. I'm a bit addicted to looking through Instagram because I love looking at other people's art as well. And I mean, Sinead Shop, there's so much variety there as well. It's brilliant. Yeah.
It's no, do you know, it's the one thing that I have to say, that I understand where you're coming from, because my dad was into art, but not very confident. He drew birds amazingly. Like, he actually taught me how he sort of done birds, and I find that it was sort of a nice flowing shape that he does, and he had it was a very basic style, but it was yeah, if I showed you some of his birds, and these are just doodles, so like, I know my dad was a big inspiration for me for the art, but I'm like you, it was my teachers who really established my love. I always did. Now I have to say, by the sounds of things, it's something that we both have in common, is that there was an interest there, and then we just were very lucky that we had a tutor who pushed us over. Like, I done a history of art, and I had an amazing quirky teacher, mad as a hatter, and I love her to pieces, Miss McNamara. She fell out with me more often because I loved a particular Northern Ireland artist that she didn't like, but I loved him, and I fell in love with him from the first day I seen his work in the Ulster Museum. And yes, the shop and everything I do now is an inspiration from the teachers that actually taught me in my school. So it's really interesting to hear you saying exactly the same thing, because sometimes I'm going, was I influenced? Did I, and I'm sort of always asking myself those questions. So it's nice to hear someone else who has been down the same journey. But what mediums do you specialize in? Because I know that you play about with a lot. Like, I love the newy logs that you've actually brought out. They only came out at Christmas time, and I couldn't keep stock of them. They just seemed to be, as soon as I got, actually, I think there was a few of them I had put onto the website, and they were sold before they'd even got even into the store from you. And I know that you were struggling to actually keep up with your own orders for them. So what all mediums do you work in?
Yeah, well, I started off with paper because that's the most common one, and then a friend asked me to do a large painting, kind of commissioned a painting. She says, "Do you do it on wood? Would you do it in wood for me?" So I had a go, and I absolutely loved it, because wood, you can see the textures and the patterns coming through, with the wood, and that's why I liked it so much. So I started getting little log slices. So here's a wee example just to show you. So just painted different things on the wood, and even the circular effect of it, I just loved it, and I just became kind of addicted. So I paint lots of little things on wood. Of course, animals. It has to be animals as well. They're always in there somewhere. And then actually just lately, somebody had asked, do you not do any cards and things? So I tried some little mini log slices. So they're kind of cute, I think.
Oh my God, they're
This
so
is a
cute.
example of one. Says "Love you to the moon and back," and
I think me and you need to have a conversation after this. She's holding back on me, everyone. So actually, I'll be honest with you. I have been very bold on Instagram recently, so I haven't really been keeping up to date with people, because just life has just been so chaotic trying to get the shop reopened. And I did go on to go, right, have I caught up with everything the Sandra's done? And I've seen that, and I was like going, oh, they're quite cute. Because you had these gorgeous wee ones saying it was for teachers. What was it being? Oh,
was it the one with the little bee?
yeah, it was so cute. But you've
I
done,
did quite a lot of teacher ones there, yeah.
yeah, it was really gorgeous. But
And
they
just
are stunning.
like this,
Yeah.
or for like family members, because everybody likes to be personal one. Can you see that okay?
Yeah, they are.
Uh,
So hopefully by the time we have launched these will also be available on our website. But no, I love, like, I think that you're probably one of the few artists that I work with that you don't go down the main route of canvas. So you're doing the likes of your prints and your actual artwork on top of the paper. Then you've also started specializing in pieces of wood, but they're not just small pieces of wood. They
yeah.
are
Oh no, do you want to see?
massive.
I actually have a big one here if you want to see it.
Oh yes.
This is, oh, I'll see if I can fit it into the screen. So here he is. This is Marshmallow. And it's really, if I can walk back.
That is massive.
So I do large, even larger than that. But yeah, I like working big as well. So I'll try
Yeah.
anything.
No, but
Don't know
I
if it'll
think
work out.
But I think that's what makes it so unique, because a lot of people think that whenever you're creating art that it needs to be on a canvas, or it needs to be like, I know that I've seen people doing amazing pieces on milk churns and stuff, but you're definitely going down a completely different route for gift ideas for people. So um and like, what type of wood do you use there? Because I know that you also so you do the originals, but you're also making your prints available in the wood too. So what type of wood are you using? Because it's a beautiful clear wood that the artwork stands out amazingly on it.
No, it's spruce wood. Spruce wood. I just like the texture and the pattern of it. You know, it's got, it just depends what piece of wood you get, but some of them are nicer than others, you know, but I try and pick carefully so that I have nice pieces, you know, all different shapes as well.
No, and have you any new items that you're thinking, are you toying with apart from the wee small? Is there anything else that you're starting to think about doing?
Let me think. I've actually, these log slices now, they're quite tiny. I have ordered ones, they're about 30 centimeters diameter. So I thought of doing a little series or collection of larger pieces. So I think that's my next thing of a few recommissions. I just finished one there of a stork. Somebody want, no, it wasn't a stork, it was a heron. So I just finished that one, and that's soft ballerina the other day. So and then a few, I tried a little different style as well, because I always like just doing different things. So I've been trying sort of sky and seascape landscapes as well. I'll just sort of dip in my brush into it a wee bit, but those are some things that might be up and coming, hopefully.
No, that's great. Like it's been really interesting because like, apart from the first night, the two of us actually haven't really been able to get sitting down again for us to get chatting properly. So I've already learned quite a bit here today, and hopefully we'll actually get catching up again. But now, there was a wee quote that you put at your bottom of the page, and I thought that this was actually a beautiful quote to sort of finish off on, because whenever you're starting to do art and you're starting to get creative, a lot of people don't have the confidence. And I have to admit, like, from the very moment that I met you, you seem to have the confidence, which is great. But I think that is the teacher in you. And you probably do question some of your work some of the times, because you wouldn't be an artist or a crafter if you didn't. But your wee quote, can you remember what your wee quote was?
I think I have it written down this time.
Sorry, I've just sprung this on her.
No, you're okay. No, it is. It is a quote I love, but I want to get it right here.
Yeah.
You can't use up creativity. Well, you can't use up creativity. The more you use, the more you have. I love that. Yeah.
And
It's
I
so
do,
true, isn't it?
yeah, it is so true. The amount of artists and crafters that I've met, and they just ooze creativity. And a lot of them, the issue that a lot of artists and crafters and people do not realize is that sometimes the confidence just isn't there, but because they just love to paint and they love to work in whatever medium that they're working in, that's what keeps them going. But Sandra, it was been absolutely delightful having you on, and I actually can't wait to do a follow-up with you and get a proper chat.
A wee
And
couple of Nam crafts is great.
definitely, I think we're definitely in need of another one, because you haven't even seen the new look store either.
Oh,
So
no,
you're going to have to come up and see the wall that's completely dedicated to you alone. But thank you so much. And if anybody wants to check out and see more of Sandra's work, you can find it on www.danandcross.com, and her name is Sandra Shaw Art. You can also find Sandra's work on Instagram, on Facebook, and she also sells her items through Etsy. So there is loads of ways that you can actually get seeing her. So if you haven't dropped in and follow her now. All the links will be in the posts above and below on our social media pages. And thank you so much, Sandra.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
And we'll see you all again. Bye.
Bye.